What's up, guys? So, I have reviewed all of these products, all from Grimsmo Brothers. But I wanted to do a video to kind of wrap up my thoughts and feelings on the Grimsmo products. My very first Grimsmo knife was this Norseman. This is one of the newer Norsemans, and if you follow them, if you follow the Grimsmo's channel, you'll see that since they developed the first Norseman, or since they developed their first knife period, they have constantly improved their knives. They've gotten better and better and better. So I think, I know that the later knives are better knives. This Rask was my third purchase. I purchased another Norseman and realized I didn't need two, so I got rid of it. And I got the Rask. I really wanted this, and I got very fortunate and got in a position to be able to get this, and very glad that I did. The Rask they stopped making in late 2016. They didn't make them, or in 2016, and they had made a run in 2015, I believe, and 16, and then they didn't make them in 17, and then fired back up in 18. Anyway, there was a year there, I believe it was 17 or 18, where they didn't make them. They did some improvements and changed it. I saw one of John's videos where he said that their original concept for this was a knife that was quote-unquote easier, that they could mass produce, and that's one thing we're going to talk about today. The reason that didn't work is because they are the Grimsmos. They're not programmed to do anything mass-produced. They're not programmed to do anything that's good enough or that will get by or that's really good. They're programmed for perfection, and that's what they strive for every day. And that's, I don't know if any person ever achieves perfection, but in my eyes, these tools are perfect. But of course, in the maker's eyes, they're still improving. From his recent videos, sounds like he thinks he's getting close. I can't imagine what he could improve on these knives. Like all knives that I've just come across lately, this one, I had always meant to try it out, but it wasn't a priority of mine. And then once I got it in my hand, oh my goodness. And, I thought, well, if this is so good, I want to try out the Rask. But, they probably put all their energy into this one, and the Rask is probably just a knife. Well, I was wrong. The thing is, this couldn't be a production knife for them because of all the extremely maddening details. Like the way they hollow out these scales. They didn't just hollow out the scales. They worried about the pattern on the inside. For not only the way that it works, but for the way that it looks. They cared about what the inside of the knife looks like. There's wording and writing on there, and it's beautiful. This knife looks as good or better taken apart than it does put together. You can look at this knife visually and, from a distance, say that's about as plain as a knife gets. And when you get it in your hand, you realize it's about as complicated as a knife gets because it's perfection. All the tiny, insane details, like the tiny little dots around the hardware that they make themselves. I mean, you could go through this thing for days and days and days and find things that would still blow your mind. This knife is amazing. Just seeing that profile from a distance doesn't attract me. It does now because I know what it is. There's a good thing they only make two knives because they've put all their energy into just making two knives, and they made them perfect. They have a reputation of never stopping until it's right, and that's a beautiful thing. They carried that over into a pen. Now, I have always carried a pen. I've always carried a Pilot G2. I've tried the cross pens back in the day. I was never impressed by any of those. So, of course, I had to try this, but my God, I saw the price and I was like, I cannot pay $325 for a pen. Well, when you think about it, that it's something that you use every single day of your life in business, that's okay, because it's something that will probably last you your entire life. The details are insane. They developed their own mechanism. To me, that's worth it. You know, someone was saying, I believe it was Nick, was saying they wish they would have machined this where this line disappeared. I disagree. I like the line there. Everything on this knife, the fit and finish is amazing. They picked the perfect cartridge. The Parker style, Parker style cartridges, so you could use the best cartridge I've found, the Parker gel cartridge. It writes amazing. I've seen a lot of cool EDC pins that take the Fisher Space Pen. The Fisher Space Pen will write, but it doesn't write very well. It will write all the time, but it just doesn't write very well. And my handwriting suffers enough without help from the ink, right? But the video today is to let you know if you've been on the fence about buying something from Grimsmo. And I don't know them by any means. I have no affiliation or tie to them or anything. It's just when I find an amazing product, I want to share it. And I want to tell you about my experience with it. And I have come to really, really enjoy these knives and this pen. And I'm just fine with them only making 3 products because they make them perfect. They have done a killer job. And I have handled quite a few customs that don't measure up to these knives. You can, they're not, you can't really label them. They're not a custom. They're not a mid-take. They're absolutely not production. They're just great. They're fantastic knives with amazing actions. They use phosphorus bronze washers. About as simple and as complicated as it gets. But anyway, just want to throw my 2 cents in there. This is one of my favorite brands alongside Shergoroff, and I just wanted to kind of share that today. Guys, thanks for watching. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.